Shut...
And that's everything. There's nothing else to tell you. Can I go now?
No, we haven't finished yet.
Oh, come on, this is ridiculous.
There's nothing ridiculous about 6 little girls being sexually assaulted and strangled. Girls that you describe as nymphets. Ridiculous isn't a word that I would use.
I don't know anything about it. All I did was give the kid a lift.
You say you arrived back in Melbourne on March the 12th.
That's right.
And the first murder occurred 1 week later on March the 19th.
Oh, come on. Lots of people arrive on March the 12th.
They didn't all give Jennifer McDonald a lift in their car, did they?
But I didn't touch her. I mean, what the hell am I going to do to convince you?
I doubt whether you can, son. I reckon you did it.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. The roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground.
In peak practice, Beth is about to make an important decision.
I've never said I want to spend the rest of my life here, Jack.
Time for reflection, time to move on.
It has happened, and it's changed me, it's changed everything.
Time to let go of the past.
Your reasons for going have got to be much bigger than your reasons for staying.
I just think we've both earned the right to go and do something we'd really love, don't you?
Peak Practice, the last episode, Tuesday at 9 on Yorkshire.
My girlfriend Kirby says I never introduce her to any of my friends. So today I brought one along to meet her. I asked her to take a drive with me down to the beach. I wanted to talk to her. I think I remember proposing to her, and then we tied the knot with a Diet Coke.
Great news! I found one of the missing holes. Now all I need's the hula hoop to put it in.
Tomorrow, only in the Times, take your child free to some of the most exciting attractions in Britain. A free day out for your child, only in the Times, tomorrow.
Here's great news about the great flavor of Wrigley Spearmint Gum. Now it lasts longer. Same original minty taste, but now it goes that much further. Wrigley Spearmint Gum, now longer lasting flavor.
I'm a single woman who loves Kellogg's Frosties. Here's my story. It had been a long day at the office, but I knew what I wanted. I knew I was wrong. Me, a grown woman still running around like a schoolgirl. What I didn't know was that I was in for a very big surprise! Caught red-handed.
Adults never grow out of the great taste of Kellogg's Frosties. They're great!
Read all about it, nothing happened.
Have a break. Have a KitKat.
to erase the memories. But now the Dulux emulsions are tougher, so they're more washable.
Daddy, we fell in the mud.
At least you can wipe away the years. Dulux washable emulsions.
I've won! I've won!
I've won!
Forget it all for an instant.
Beginning Tuesday, a portrait of the Churchills, a family of reckless ambition and boundless appetites.
Gladstone very famously observed in 1882 that there never was a Churchill from John, Duke of Marlborough down, who had either morals or principles.
We were very extrovert and very demonstrative. The whole spirit of Winston was really there. He was a romantic.
The Churchills, Tuesday at 10:40 on Yorkshire.
In a few minutes, Ian St John and Jimmy Greaves present Sporting Question. But now we join ITN.
Japanese police raiding headquarters of the Aum religious cult have failed to capture the sect's leader, Shoko Asahara. More than 2,000 police officers have been involved in the raids all over Japan, at buildings used by the Doomsday Group, who are linked with the gas attack on Tokyo's subway, which killed a dozen and injured thousands. The main focus of the police activity was the cult's headquarters in the shadow of Mount Fuji. Police surrounded the buildings and used heavy-duty cutting equipment to gain access. The Police Federation conference opens today in the wake of an overwhelming vote by members against the carrying of arms. 79% of officers surveyed said they were against it. But even more, 83% called for better self-defence training and better protection against violence on the streets. Nurses meeting in Harrogate are preparing to end their no-strike agreement. They're angered by the government's refusal to back down on the issue of locally negotiated pay. The junior health minister, Baroness Cumberledge, was booed and heckled when she addressed the Royal College of Nursing conference yesterday. An estimated 8,000 British women who've received silicone breast implants will be affected by action taken by the American manufacturer to protect itself from bankruptcy. The legal move by Dow Corning may reduce and delay compensation. That's it. Bye for now.
Good evening and welcome once more to Sporting Question, coming to you from Scottish Television here in Glasgow, where our studio audience are waiting to debate the issues of the day with our panel of sporting personalities. On the agenda tonight, the latest Bruno fiasco. Is heavyweight boxing becoming a farce? Is Rangers the right place for Gaza's return to British football? Is big money ruining athletics? The old farts controversy. Is it time for the wind of change to sweep through rugby union? Well, ready with his own unique view on all these matters, on my far right, Jimmy Greaves. Alongside Jimmy, Scotland's finest female athlete, the former world 10,000 metres champion Liz McColgan. Now, Liz has recently returned after nearly 2 years out through injury, currently preparing for the World Championships in Gothenburg in August. On my left, a rare breed indeed, a former England football captain with 3 Scottish Championship medals on his mantelpiece. Terry Butcher spent 4 highly successful years at Ibrox in the late 80s and is now Sky Television's Scottish football expert. And finally, in the media seat, former Scotland rugby captain Andy Irwin. Andy, one of the finest fullbacks of all time, is now one of Edinburgh's leading commercial property experts and columnist for the Sunday Mail. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your panel. Thank you. Well, it's been another major weekend for sport. Congratulations, of course, to Blackburn Rovers for their first league championship in 81 years. So well done, Kenny Dalglish. We'll discuss that a little bit later. But a major non-event here in Glasgow on Saturday night, Frank Bruno's second-round demolition of American Mike Evans. 19-stone Evans might have lasted more than twice as long as Bruno's previous two opponents, but the manner of his defeat has still prompted calls for a British Board of Inquiry. And boxing wasn't helped either by the ease of Lennox Lewis's win against the overweight Lionel Butler in Sacramento. So we'll go straight into a boxing question from Kevin McNally from Easterhouse. Kevin.
Well, I'd like to ask, following Frank Bruno's third successful fight against an opponent, do you think the panel he deserves to consider the fight at Oliver McCall for the WBC title on July the 22nd?
Well, before we discuss this as a panel, I'd like to introduce from London, live from London, Simon Block, who's the Assistant General Secretary of the Boxing Board of Control. Now, Simon, obviously the Scottish fans feel they've been ripped off with this fight up here at the weekend. Who actually sanctioned the fight? Do we blame you for this?
I think you must blame Frank Bruno for the win. The fact remains that Frank Bruno is an extremely difficult, devastating puncher. Now, as far as the sanction for the fight was concerned, the promoter Frank Warren came to us. We were uneasy at the start, but we viewed a video of Evans' contest against Ray Annis, who is a very credible fighter and originally penciled in as Frank Bruno's original opponent. And then we had regard to the fact that he travelled down to Brazil to box a very comparable fighter to Frank Bruno, a fellow called Adilson Rodriguez, who, although no longer in the top 10 in the world, in fact has just compiled a straight run of 22 wins, 18 of those coming inside the distance. And Mike Evans went down there to lose that contest, and in fact he ended up knocking out Rodriguez in 7 rounds. That made him a credible opponent for Frank Bruno on paper. He has produced excellent performances in the past, including a win in England in 1991 when he won one of the Intercontinental Championships. So, yes, we sanctioned the match, the promoter applied for it, but the result is down to Frank Bruno, who happens to be acknowledged as one of the hardest punchers in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking here, Simon, about a guy who's 19 stone, overweight, and out of condition against a guy who we know can punch, but hasn't done a great deal himself when he's fought against decent fighters. Surely you must have known that this was a mismatch.
I have to say, if I knew the result of every contest, I probably would pack my job in with the board and bet on contests and make a fortune that way. The fact of the matter remains that boxing is not an exact science. So much depends on the two human beings in the ring at that particular time.
But you looked at a video, you wasn't going to let him come and fight, did you? I mean, what